Hey everyone, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader Cody. In today's pick a card, we are going to be doing Who's Coming Towards You in Love. We have 4 groups in front of us to choose from. If you don't know how a pick a card works, basically you're going to select one of the crystals, the one that you're first drawn to or the one that your intuition is telling you to pick, or the one that you just find is the prettiest. And that's going to fast forward you to your reading. You're going to go to the description box or the comment section, click the timestamp that is associated with that group and crystal, and that will take you to your reading. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the crystals up close, then I'm going to give you a chance to pick. You can pause the video after I show you up close to take your time to pick your crystal if you need to. And then we're just going to get right into the reading. So for group 1, we have the candle quartz. It's for group 1. So if you're drawn to this stone, you're group 1. Group 2 is the Prehnite. So if you're drawn to this stone, that's group 2. Group 3 is the Tiffany stone. So if you're drawn to this stone, you're group 3. And last, group 4 is the Lapis Lazuli. So if you're drawn to this stone, you're group 4. So take all the time you need to pick your crystal. You can pause the video here if you need to. All right, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get started with group number 1, the candle quartz. Hey, group 1, this is if you picked the candle quartz, this lovely, cool stone. It's actually a perfect point on the end. I was very lucky to find this crystal because a lot of them don't have a perfect point. So this is considered a generator crystal, a natural generator crystal, and it's a candle quartz, which is kind of cool. Okay, so let's get into your reading. I'm going to be drawing an animal spirit oracle, a character oracle. I don't know the deck creator's name of the character oracle, but we're going to be pulling from that too. Oracle of the 7 energies, numerology card, and the pulp tarot. We're basically just going to be getting an idea of who's coming towards you in love and what they're all about. What's the situation about? All that good stuff. So let's pull an animal spirit card first. So let's get an animal spirit card to talk about the personality that is coming towards group 1 in love. Who is coming towards group 1 in love? And we have Swan. Cool. Okay, and I'm going to get a character oracle card to help us further identify who's coming towards group 1 in love. And we have influencer. Let's see if we can get one more. One more wants to come out. If not, then I'll just take this one. We have influencer, swan. Okay. Now let's get a oracle of the 7 energies. Let's get an Oracle of the 7 Energies card to help us with who is coming towards group 1 in love. What can group 1 look forward to in love? Who's coming towards them that they're going to be interacting with? And we have opening to discovery. And then I'm also going to get a numerology guidance card. I haven't used this deck in a while, so this will be fun. Let's see here. Thank you guys for joining me in today's reading, right? If you are sticking around for the shuffling, you haven't skipped ahead to the actual reading yet. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your presence here on the channel. Okay, let's see. What numerology card needs to come through for group 1 to further describe the person that's coming in for them? And we have spiritual partnership. I want to pull one more. I'm feeling really called to have 2 on the table for you guys for this particular deck. So let's pull one more. And we have individuality. And then we just need to get your tarot cards. I'm going to be using the Pulp Tarot today by Todd Alcott. Fun fact, I found this tarot deck at a thrift store. So Okay, so let's see. The Pulp Tarot by Todd. Okay, let's get some cards on the table to further explain who's coming towards group 1 in love. Who's coming towards group 1 in love? I just got really hot all of a sudden in my house. I have the air on, but I still just got heated all of a sudden. So that might come up later in the reading. I don't know. We'll see. So we have 5 of Wands. We have Queen of Cups. We have the Sun. And we have the Hermit. Okay, this reading's really cool. Let me look over a few more things real quick. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if you guys watching this are influencers yourself, or you have a presence, online presence on social media, something like that, or you frequent social media, or you deal with influencers all the time, something like that. For a lot of you, this is an interesting connection because I do feel that some influencer is going to reach out to you guys, or you're reaching out to an influencer, something like that, and they actually respond and you guys connect via online. For a lot of you though, I am seeing that I want to say most of you watching, you are also influencers, or you're trying to make a presence on social media, you're trying to make a face on social media, something like that. With 5 of Wands here, I do see you kind of in competition with this person. Like, you're kind of close with them, but you kind of compete with them. There's a feeling of like, okay, they're talented, I'm talented. Who's going to win out is like, who's going to get the most views or the most followers, something like that. 5 of Wands talks about a competition or pushing each other to greater heights. So for example, if it's not necessarily competitive, I see you and this other person pushing each other to greater heights. So encouraging each other's platforms, encouraging each other, working on different things together, something like that. Also, if it's possible that if you are not an influencer, this is a specific influencer that pushes you to greater heights. This is an influencer you follow or you deal with that pushes you to greater heights. And this is most likely someone who's a peer. So for example, if you are whatever age you are, this is someone who's most likely going to be around the same age as you, or there's a feeling of similarity, I guess you could say. We even see that again here with the swan, with the twin images of the swan and then reflecting herself in the water, right? There's a feeling of someone being in the same position as you or same footsteps as you, or there's something about you following in their footsteps, or something about you guys are on the same path. There's something very similar about both of you, is kind of what I'm seeing. Or there's a feeling that you guys push each other to greater heights. This person coming in. With Queen of Cups here, I do think with this person, what's coming next in love for you guys is a very deep dive kind of connection where you get, hold on, give me 1 second. It's very much like a deep dive kind of connection where I feel like you guys really get invested in each other's intellectual domains and you kind of study the work of the other one. I do see a meeting of the mind, so to speak. Even though we don't have any swords cards here, we have earth energy, fire energy, water energy, and more fire energy. There are no swords cards here, but Queen of Cups is very much, I feel like she's kind of the most intelligent of the Cups cards, is kind of how I see her. Because in the traditional Queen of Cups, she's studying this ornate cup in front of her, and she has this focused look on her face. And I am seeing that there is a sense of focus with both you and this person. I think both of you are very focused on one another when you meet or when you engage. I think it's very intense conversation. I think you're very interested in what they have to say. I think they're very interested in what you have to say. There's just a feeling of like intellectual discovery. With spiritual partnership, I think this could manifest into a very beneficial spiritual partnership. I wouldn't be surprised if you and this other influencer are both dealing with spiritual topics on your pages, or like that's what you're promoting on your social media page, something like that. I would not be surprised to see that at all. With opening to discovery, here's the thing. I think initially you guys are very different. For most of you with this 5 of Wands energy, you're very in competition with this person. I think this person, in a weird way with individuality here in the Hermit, seems very different from you guys upon first meeting. It's like, whoa, their methods are so different from me, or the way they do this is so bizarre, or there's something about this person triggering you in some way initially in the initial stages, but I think once you get close with this person, there's a feeling of opening up and pushing each other to greater heights. And I think you guys get closer in the long run. With the sun here, I see a very positive energy. The sun to me also indicates success, at least like financially or practically as well. Because it is represented by fire energy, and it does kind of echo the Six of Wands or, you know, other wand energy that deals with the passions, right? So that can also tap into career. You know, the sun can be success if you're using your passions for your career, something like that. Also with the child on the horse, I do see you guys being very youthful together. I see like kind of a feeling of lightheartedness coming up between both of you. The more you interact, there's a feeling of sense of like lightheartedness. With the Hermit card, I am seeing on one hand, both of you have spent a lot of time in introspection. That's the one thing you do have in common. And that's probably why there's a lot of differences with the individuality here, is because each one of you has really absorbed and worked through their inner world. And that's a very private thing to do, right? That's not necessarily a public activity. That's not necessarily your inner world's not necessarily public domain. I mean, that's private. That's for you. That's for yourself, right? And I definitely think that's one thing that you learn to respect about each other, is that you both came to different conclusions because you were working through your stuff individually, right? I would guess that both of you have very unique opinions, and that's one of the reasons why you're valued or popular on social media, is because you have very unique individual opinions that people really value and appreciate. It's like you guys have the jump on things because you have figured it out yourself first before consulting with what's called popular opinion. So that's coming through. With opening to discovery, I do think this person coming in who's coming next in love with opening to discovery, there's a key here and a giant keyhole. I think there's a feeling that with the next stage in your life, when this person comes in, there's a feeling of thinking the next step in life is this big giant obstacle, or you need this gigantic key to fill the keyhole, right? So for example, you might have an overwhelming problem in your life that you think is just going to take years to overcome, or the solution is going to be very difficult to find, or you're going to need this big giant key to fit this keyhole. I think you thinking the solution needs to be as big as the problem, when really this key is very, very tiny, a little ornate, sophisticated, right? This solution is going to be sophisticated, but this person is going to help you find a sophisticated solution to a giant problem. My laundry just went off. You can hear it humming in the background or doing the little jingle. That's confirmation. So this person coming in love for you is going to help you with some giant problem, but they're going to have a sophisticated solution, but it's going to be simple and to the point. It's not going to be that complicated. I think that's something that opens up more discovery between you. And I think this applies for them too. I'm seeing a lot of mirroring in this connection, especially because we have the swan here. The swan also indicates physical attractiveness, and that this person, that's into you or is coming next in love is actually very physically attracted to you. They find you extremely beautiful, but they can't see your true self, is kind of what I'm seeing. It's like your true self is under the water doing whatever it's doing, but they can't see that. They can only see the outer persona of you. So there's a lot that's being hidden underneath the surface. The swan always reminds me of a creature that is floating gracefully along the water, as if not moving at all, not exerting any effort, but underneath the surface of the water, paddling furiously. That's kind of how I imagine the swan. So I do see someone who, and the thing is with this mirroring here, I think it's mutual. I think you both find each other beautiful. I think you're both very similar. I think the swan energy is reflecting both of you in general. I think both of you work really hard, but make it look easy, something like that. With the water sign here in spiritual partnership, I am seeing a lot of accessing your intuition and engaging with intuition and sharing your intuition with each other. This is someone, also with the Queen of Cups here, this is someone who doesn't mind getting analytical and figuring out different philosophies, theories, questioning how the universe operates, what their beliefs are on how the universe operates. Five of Wands also talks about debates in this department too. So not only are you guys pushing each other to succeed competitively and in a peer-related sense, right? Like I'm going to push you, you push me. It's this Five of Wands, people get this card. Like I feel like there's different versions of this card. People assume it represents conflict. For me, it represents like pushing another person to success and you pushing them. To me, it more represents teamwork in the sense of like motivational teamwork, right? It's not necessarily the Three of Pentacles where it's just like, it's really easy to work together and it's just nice to work. Right? Five of Wands is a more intense vibe. It's more motivational. It's more pushing someone. It's the other person pushing you. And next to the Queen of Cups, I really feel like you guys are going to be discussing a lot of theories, right? Or viewpoints, right? I think your passions are stirred in this connection. And I think who's coming towards you in love, their passions are also stirred. And I think that's going to cause a lot of like heated debates, but heated in a fun sense. I think that's the heated I got when I first pulled out the tarot cards, because the Five of Wands was the first card that came out, and I was feeling like I got really hot all of a sudden in my house. You know, albeit like I'm in the wrong room for the day, and the sun's just like beating in on this room. So, but the thing I'm seeing also is that this passion turns into joy. Right? This passion turns into joy. I think the intellectual discovery is going to be so amazing that it's just going to turn into a sense of joy. Remember, you both are very individuals. And what I'm also seeing too is it might not necessarily be intellectual for all of you. I'm thinking intellectual because we do have the Queen of Cups here, but this is really just referring to anything you focus and study on consistently and persistently. And also, area where if you were to have discussions with people, you would get into debates with them, right? This might even be tricky for you guys because I'm seeing that this is so important to you, this particular passion, that you don't necessarily like to discuss your philosophical viewpoints on this discussion, or you don't like to like work with others on this because it's so personal. It's kind of what I'm seeing, especially with the Hermit here. I think for both of you, these topics that you're going to discuss are so personal, but it's really interesting because even though there's a feeling of competition, there's a feeling of wanting to push each other to succeed. It's like seeing yourself in someone else and wanting the best for them, just as you want the best for you. So one thing that I am seeing are these debates getting more creative, more stimulating. I think this is where the Sun card comes into play. I definitely think that these are going to bring you more success in your business. I think these are going to bring you more happiness in your own sense of self. I think you're going to have a lighter, freer feeling. You're going to feel more youthful again. With opening to discovery, I think this is like the advice for this reading, right? Is the person coming in wants to push you, wants you to succeed, right? But the thing with opening to discovery is they might try to teach you things and you might try to teach them things, but the cards are asking you to be open to discovering new things in this connection, because new things are what's going to benefit this connection. So one of you, I think, starts teaching the other one sooner than the other one teaches the other one, something like that. But yeah, with the Swan here, you guys both work very hard. With this Hermit energy, I think you both have very individual perspectives. You're both very like-minded in this sense, in this reading. I'm seeing a lot of mirroring here. Like, I'm not seeing someone who is opposite to this person. I'm seeing you guys as very, very similar. This is a meeting of the minds. And if not the minds, the reason I'm saying like philosophy and intellectual stuff is because that's how I see these two cards combined. But I hesitate to say that because there's no swords energy here. So for example, you could be a meeting of the minds about makeup, right? Maybe you're both beauty influencers, something like that. And so you're having a meeting of the minds about your particular craft, right? And it's not necessarily intellectual. It's more about like, it is intellectual in a sense that it's about your passions, but it's not intellectual in the sense that it's about theories or philosophies or something like that, because we don't have too many swords cards here. But whatever this is, it's personal for both of you. It's a personal thing. You guys are both trying to make a name for yourself with this personal passion project is kind of what I'm seeing. And with spiritual partnership, this can really evolve into a beautiful spiritual partnership. I think that just knowing that there's people out there that have the same passion that you have about your particular topic and that are trying to do the same thing as you, I honestly see collaborations with the influencer card here. But like I said, this is what's coming towards you in love. So there are going to be some love feelings involved in this connection. There are going to be some feelings of having a crush or liking someone, something like that. That's going to be a given in this connection. Remember, with the Swan energy here and also with the reflection of the other Swan, you guys are both very beautiful people. Or you're both very attracted to each other, right? You might not find yourself that beautiful, but you're really attracted to this person and they're really attracted to you. So with spiritual partnership and individuality, I want to point out the 27 and the 11. Numbers that could be significant to you are 271, angel number 271, angel number 711, and angel number 27 and 11. I actually want to read them from my book. I actually have an angel number book. I'm going to go out to my car and get them. I'll be right back. Don't worry, I'll cut out the time in between. But I want to get those and read those to you guys because those might be important. Okay, guys, I got the angel number book. So we're going to read some numbers from this book. And what was right next to the angel number book in my car was this little star with a happy face on it. And I literally thought when I saw this star, I was like, group 1 is most likely going to end up being famous or have some kind of fame or recognition. So if you guys are building your influencer career at this point, whatever you're doing, whatever your thing that you've worked your entire life to study and analyze, what we have here with the Virgo, the hermit energy, and that you've developed your own individual approach, whatever you're showing the world in this regard, I do see some fame and recognition coming from this. For at least one or both of you, right? Because we do have the star here. I'm going to put the star right above the influencer just so you guys know that you have that coming for you. So let's get into the angel numbers for the card. So the first one I want to cover is 271. That's the one I was seeing. So let's cover that one. Okay, we have gratitude attitude. Focus on the... I wonder if you can see that. I'll just hold it up like this. Focus on the positive takeaways. Today, an attitude of gratitude will serve you best. The present circumstances are easy to approach with negativity, but your angels challenge you to do the opposite. Write about what you can do to reflect thankfulness for the lessons learned and the experiences had. I think this is really important, honestly, you guys, because one thing that I'm seeing is that with the Five of Wands, what this just said was... the present circumstances are easy to approach with negativity. That's very true. It's easy to get into arguments. It's easy to get into debates and blows of your opinion, even though you recognize a similar soul as you, because you guys have so many, you have different approaches. It's like if you took two twins, right, and you put them at opposite sides of the world. One grew up in China, one grew up in America. They're going to have vastly different experiences and vastly different things they've understood throughout their life. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's like, you guys are so similar, but you've had different, you've been exposed to different forms of knowledge, different forms of influences that have influenced you, stuff like that. So it's easy to approach with negativity, but it says your angels challenge you to do the opposite. Write about what you can do to reflect thankfulness for the lessons learned and experiences had. I do think that with the lessons learned from this connection, it'll be very influential as far as influential, that's funny. It'll be very influential as far as like promoting yourself. I think these lessons are going to help. It's like missing puzzle pieces that you didn't really know you needed until you talked about this person. You got into a lot of discussions with them, and you're going to find you have a lot of like information that was missing that is going to be filled in because of this person. Also, an attitude of gratitude, being thankful for this person, is going to draw them in more. I think it's going to mitigate some of this more debatey type of intellectual sparring kind of energy with the topic that you guys are both into. Okay, let's look at 7-11. That's the other one I wanted to look at. Okay. So 7-11, we have persistence. Reap your rewards. You've been working very hard at your goals, but at some point you have to take all you've done and benefit from it. Through this number, your angels ask you to honor your growth. Reflect on something you've been focusing on for a long time, and ask yourself how you can use it to create more for yourself today. Persistence is interesting because I do think you guys are going to help teach each other a sense of persistence. I think you guys will help. And this I'm not seeing this so much the message relating to the reading that I'm reading, but maybe this is something you guys needed to hear in general. So if that's something you needed to hear, you can screenshot or whatever and read it if you want to. But yeah, I'm just seeing right here, persistence and reap your rewards. I think persistence in this connection and pushing forward and getting to the bottom of things that you're curious about and asking questions is going to be really beneficial. If you just ask questions like, what do you mean by this? What does this mean? Like, can I get some more information on that? I think that's going to be really beneficial. I think this person's really open to sharing that information. So I think just asking questions about them or about what's going on in the situation could be beneficial, specifically if it's related to the topic you both study or that you're both invested in, right? I'm kind of seeing that here. Okay, so the next ones I want to read are just 27 and 11. So I'll read 27 next. 27 says, life plan. Align your life plan with your soul plan. Your angels want you to reflect and consider deeply what it is you want in life versus what you think you should do. Create alone time for yourself today without people or technology. Ask yourself what you want and free write about it in a journal without judgment. This is interesting because it's reminding me that maybe before this event even happens, and for some of you, most people would probably click off the reading if they saw influencer and they weren't an influencer, right? But if you've stayed till the end, it's possible you're at a point in your life where you're reevaluating a whole bunch of stuff in your life. And you're trying to figure out what you truly want in life. And this person might come up when you figured out something in your life that, like a key moment of like, I really want to do this, right? I'm feeling that for you guys. Like, I really want to do this, or I really want to bring this passion or this specific individual interest into my environment is kind of what I'm seeing. Yeah, let's continue with 11. Let's see what 11 says. 11 says, the awakening. You are being called to attention. Your angels want to send you signs, but first they need to make sure you'll be paying attention. This number asks you to notice the world around you so you don't miss the important messages coming your way. Ask your angels for confirmation after you see this number. Repetition is their way of getting your attention. Yeah, so I am seeing that with repetition is this person's way of getting your attention. I am seeing that this person is going to keep popping up. That's kind of what I'm saying with the symbol of 11 here. This person's going to keep popping up, right? You might reach out to them at one point and maybe if they go live or something, you're just always on when they go live or something like that. Or there's something about just them always popping up, right? They just keep popping up. They keep bringing themselves up, something like that. I think once the connection is established, this person's going to be very initiative taking in trying to talk to you. I don't think you're going to have to make that much effort to talk to this person. This person is going to feel like talking to you. They're going to want to reach out. They're going to want to say something. They're going to send you information. They're going to want to ask you questions. This person is very curious about you guys. Yeah. Also with this star here, I just want to reiterate that because someone gave me this star like 2 nights ago, and I forgot about it, and it was just sitting by my angel book in my car, so I decided to pick it up and bring it in for the reading. So yeah, with influencer and the star right above it, I think you guys have the ability to be very successful and influential and possibly famous. I'm getting fame vibes for a lot of you. And I definitely think conversations with this person is going to help with that overall goal. So what's coming in love is actually a very productive connection. But remember, there are emotional feelings connected with this connection. I think there could be a crush that's developing. I think there could be feelings of intimacy. But the one thing that I'm seeing here too is it could just be a crush and that's it. Or it could develop into something else, but the main thing I'm seeing purpose-wise is like the passion, sharing your passion with someone, right? So for example, what's coming next in love is experiencing what you love and having someone else experience what they love and realizing that someone else loves what you love completely and fully, right? And then that's kind of a love like thing all on its own. But with that does come a little bit of intimacy as well, as kind of what I'm saying for this connection. So don't be surprised if you are like, you end up getting a crush on this person, but you're not sure whether to approach them or whatnot. I really think this connection is leaning more intellectual, but I do think this crush is a part of what's coming next in love as well. So yeah, I'm going to end your guys' reading there. Thank you again so much for letting me read for you. It was an honor. It was a pleasure. I really thoroughly enjoyed it today, and I enjoyed having you here with me. If you liked the reading, please like or comment below. If you really enjoyed the reading and you resonated with my energy, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, we're going to move on to group 2 with the Prehnite. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next pick a card. Bye. Group 2, this is if you picked the Prehnite. Welcome to your reading. Sorry, that was kind of a really aggressively pull that up to the camera. Sorry about that. Okay, so your reading today. First, we need to get an Animal Oracle card by Kim Kranz. What's coming next in love? Who's coming next in love? The last reading got a lot of what's coming next in love, so don't be surprised if that happens in this reading too. Not just the personality, but a little bit of what's going to happen too. So let's see what you guys have. We have the Golden Egg. And we need a card from the Character Oracle. see if a card wants to come out for you guys that just, oh. These two are kind of coming to me. We have Guide and Player. Okay, so I pulled these cards out and this eye showed up. I mean, this eye's always been on the back of these cards, but I just saw it look at me. Like, it's always looking at you, right? This eye on these cards. But when I was like shuffling and the cards were there, I was like, oh shoot, I'm being watched. So I definitely think that like this person, I think, has their eye on you is kind of what I'm feeling already. Like this person is someone who already has their eye on you. Let's get a chakra, Oracle of the Seven Energies card. And we have Beyond the Ordinary. And I'm going to get 2 numerology cards for you guys in today's reading. Pull 2 for the other group. I want to pull 2 for you. Also, at the very end of the reading, I'll be covering messages from your angels, but using my angel number book and the numerology card numbers. So we're doing that too. I did that for the last group, so I'll do it for you guys too. And we have 88 abundance. And let's see what else is coming through. You also have the golden egg, which is normally related to the heart chakra, but we have abundance here, and the golden egg is made of gold. Money might be coming in for you guys. We also have Prehnite. We have domestic harmony, 46. Domestic harmony, that's like settling down energy. That's kind of marriage vibes, isn't it? Wouldn't you think? Domestic harmony. There's definitely something happening in the home with love. Okay, so let's get this is the Pulp Tarot by Todd Alcott. I actually got this deck at a thrift store, fun fact. Yeah, let's pull these cards and we'll get right into your reading. I want to pull 4 of these cards. Let's see, does anything want to come out? I forget to ask for spirit, like if anything needs to come out for a group. So does anything want to come out for group 2 from spirit? Sometimes I ask that and nothing flips out, so I just end up drawing. But I know sometimes when cards flip out like that, they can be extra important, right? Maybe I'm just not shuffling the right way to get them, but okay, I almost had one. See if I feel like I want to pull one from spirit, but that sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes I just need to draw, and there's not a necessary. Okay, need to draw. Oh, I wish. Sorry, guys. We have the Devil, we have the Hierophant, we have the Justice card, all major arcana, and the 2 of Wands. Oh, I was so close to having all major arcana. Okay, so let's get into your reading. Whoa, whoa. This is so cool. I'm still looking over the cards. Usually I cut I cut the video right before I say let's get into your reading, and then before I jump in to read, I actually spend a lot of time looking over and seeing the connections between all the cards. And these 3 right here gave me a very surreal feeling of like some kind of home environment that's like a completely magical world. So I'm going to get more into that when the reading comes, but let me keep looking over the cards and then we will get into your reading. Okay, wow. Okay, so let's get into this. There's a lot going on. It started clicking really quickly towards the end of me looking through it. It was like boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's get into it. So first message. I'm going to get the somewhat negative part out of the way first before I get into all the positive stuff. Okay, guys? So let's keep that in mind. So there is a lot of good coming in this reading after the little, it's like not even negative, it's like a bump, it's like a blip. But with players, socialite of charm, elegance, expert of romance, leisurely life, and justice, there was a time in your guys' life when you were maybe more playing the field, is kind of what I'm seeing. Or just in general, there was a time in your life where you were being very social and you had a lot of friends and you had your interests divided between different groups of people. Doesn't necessarily have to mean you were like playing or sleeping around with people, anything like that. It just means you were like this socialite of charm, is kind of what this card says. Socialite of charm, elegance, expert of romance, leisurely life. This is kind of representing you in a sense, because it's right below, the justice card is right below it, right? And justice represents karma. It represents things coming full circle. it also can represent like consequences for your actions, right? And so there's something about you being a very social person in a previous part of your life. And with this new person coming in, they're in a part of their life where they're very social and they're having a lot of friends and engagements and parties and people in their life. And it's kind of one of those things where you had that little phase of your life, right? And you might be experiencing some of the issues that were related to what other people were experiencing when you were playing that character. So for example, say you were being very social and maybe you had 2 events at one time, right? And you blew off one person to go to this other event, to go to this bigger party with a lot of other people, right? This is kind of how this person is reflecting you in this relationship. And I don't see it lasting that long because we do have domestic harmony. I think once you get this person into the home environment, it's like it's a solid deal. What's next in love is a beautiful connection, right? Of like having a beautiful home environment, a beautiful inner world, a beautiful dream world shared with another. So let's get into I'm going back to the karma thing real quick. So for example, this person, you might have the same experience with this person. So for example, this person might be hanging out with you, someone else, and someone else, and someone else. Not necessarily, they don't have to be sexual partners. They could only be interested in you sexually or romantically, but they have like lots of other friends or they have lots of other activities and they want to make sure they can do all these different activities, right? And so what I'm seeing with the Justice card here is they might actually blow you off once or twice to do these activities or to do something else besides just hang out with you. Part of this comes from they don't know you well enough to like make that commitment yet. I think if they actually knew you or they knew more about you, they would be more willing to hang out with you and blow off these other activities. But I really see them trying to balance all these activities in their life, right? And with leisurely life, they're going to want things to be easy. So that's also coming through with the Justice card as someone who might avoid conflict situations, which is a good thing, right? And especially in your guys' case, because I don't see a necessary, like, how do I put this, conflict between you guys. I do see kind of a more harmonious connection. But with them, I think that if an issue pops up from their past or that they saw something from their past, they might avoid it for the sake of convenience. They might avoid a conflict or something like that. This can lead to someone being a little escapist, like if they have to bail on you, not letting you know they're bailing until the last minute, something like that. So keep that in mind with this person, and this person's just going through that energy in this point in their life, right? Just as here's the thing with the Justice card. The cool thing about justice when it comes to karma, especially if it's karma that happened in this lifetime, which is what I'm seeing with you guys. Remember when you were in a period of your life where you had so many options, so many places to go, so many things to do, and you were having a hard time managing it all, right? Maybe you were actually the person who like left someone else on red and didn't get back to them until you figured out what was going on with your other plans, you know? There's a lot to managing multiple different things in life. And I think that one thing that I'm seeing is you're going to be receiving some kind of karma from how you used to manage things. It's going to be playing out and you're going to be on the other end of it. You're going to be on the receiving end of it. Now, it's not the worst, right? You might think, oh no, it's not the worst because it's like whatever you did to someone else, this person is kind of going to do to you in this next connection is with the Justice and the Player card. So keep that in mind. You're just seeing things from the other perspective. Really, you can think of this as a learning experience, right? You're learning how to interact with people and seeing it from another perspective. From the person that you were used to treat in your previous connection, you're in that role and you're being treated by that person this time. Oh my gosh, hope that made sense. Okay, so with the rest of the reading, that was kind of the one little negative thing, right? And that's only really happening in the beginning of the connection. I do see there's this feeling that, first of all, I'm going to go back to that home environment. I don't know when this is happening because this reading is coming through different disjointed. This is also coming through with Abundance, Devil, and Hierophant as part of their energy, personality energy. This is coming through as their personality energy. Golden Egg is coming through more like the connection and them as well. But this is coming through of what you guys will experience. I'm trying to see what I should get into first. I'm being pulled to both. Like the reading's kind of divided into these cards, these 2 cards, and these 3 cards. So let's get into who they are actually. This person is a leader. They are a forefront leader in their community. This person also with the Devil here has amassed large amounts of wealth, right? to the point where people could think that they're greedy. They're not greedy. You have this energy, this devil energy, counteracted by the golden egg, which is the card that represents the heart chakra in this Kim Kranz deck, right? So you have to remember those two energies are canceling each other out, right? They have the devil energy because I think that on one hand, people are addicted to their leadership. This person is a leader that people really respect and look up to. With guide here, the way they lead is by navigating and moving progress and making and showing people a direction to go. So basically what I'm seeing here is someone who shows people where to go, what to do, what plan to follow, something like that. If they're particularly involved in travel or something like that, they're the ones with the map, they're the ones with the plan, they're the ones that are going to make the route very clear for everyone else, and everyone else is just gonna kind of follow along, right? With the devil here, this does talk about their success. This is kind of an interpretation of the devil I've recently come to terms with, because in my own readings for myself, the devil kind of comes up right before I might have some kind of success in my career. Something like that. And the devil really is Capricorn energy, and that energy is associated with the 10th house of fame and reputation. And with it being next to the Hierophant, I'm getting that interpretation in this reading. With the golden egg though, I think they rule with a pure heart, right? And you pick the Prehnite stone, so it makes sense that you guys want someone who rules with a green heart, a pure heart, right? Golden egg is just the pure heart chakra energy. I think this person is so loving, so caring, so considerate, and I think that's why people are so addicted to their leadership, right? People are so addicted to the way that they govern and rule others and navigate others through their life, because they rule with a very heart-centered approach, right? They're very loving, they're very caring. The thing is, with abundance, they've amassed a lot of abundance in their life up to this point where they meet you. I think they're really busy because they're dealing with a lot of people that are their followers, something like that. This is funny because group one had an influencer card where two people were influencers, which is I'm kind of seeing, but I'm not seeing an influencer in this group. I am seeing some kind of leader though that helps other people, but they might not necessarily have a social media presence, or if they do, it's just a byproduct of their actual job, right? Like their actual job of being a leader is more so, how do I put it? The forefront, and then the social media is like a side thing to advertise or something like that, but their main vehicle is not through social media. Like their main influence is not through social media is kind of what I'm seeing with this group. This person might not be someone who's a leader on social media necessarily is kind of what I'm trying to tell you guys. So with the Hierophant, they're a leader. The devil talks about like fame and reputation in this particular case. It also talks about people being addicted to their leadership. This person is someone who has a product that people want. People want this product, they want what they have to sell, they want what they have to give them, you know, and this person has some kind of career in guiding or navigating or like leading other people, right? They're showing people the way to go. So this person might have specific things that they're saying. Specifically, they could be a religious figure, like a higher up religious figure or something like that, or a spiritual figure who governs a large group of people, something like that. Remember, this person's very kind. They're not unethical in any way, shape, or form. With the golden egg here, this person is fully in touch with their heart energies and their heart space. They would never do anything to hurt anyone, which is wild because they've amassed so much wealth. It's like the wildest thing. You wouldn't imagine that with someone who's very heart-centered, but this is what the case. So one thing that I'm seeing with you guys, one way you're going to know like you're really this person's going to be obvious when they come in. I'm not getting strong vibes of like, oh, I don't know who they are, or is this the person? Is this not the person? This person's very obvious when they're coming in. I think one thing that I'm seeing who's coming towards you in love, it's like, even though they might not, they're like, here's the thing with the player energy, they're like interested in you, right? They're interested in you, but they're also interested in a lot of things right now when you meet them. They have like hobbies, they have their job, they have other things, they have maybe even dependents that they, like children that they have to take care of, something like that. They're very social in all their elements. I think no matter what, they make everything kind of like a game or some kind of fun thing, fun activity, something like that. With Beyond the Ordinary, Two of Wands, and Domestic Harmony, I do see you guys spending a lot of time indoors eventually. I do see with Beyond the Ordinary and Domestic Harmony, in Two of Wands, which is reiterating domestic harmony, there's a feeling of wanting to spend time indoors. So I think this person is going to get to a point with this Justice card. It's just, Justice talks about the natural flow of events, karma, how things play out, right? They're going to get to a point where they're going to want to spend some time alone. They're going to want to spend some time alone and in a home environment. And they actually are starting to do this thing where they're either inviting people to their home and seeing who is kind of someone who they can spend a lot of time with in their own home and hunker down and kind of get cozy and experience their life like that. Or they're trying to put out feelers to see who wants to invite them to their home, basically. So, for example, group two. This is group two. For group two, this person might try to invite you to their home at one point when they're starting to get worn down. You'll know because they'll start to look really tired and they'll start to say things like, hey, how about we just go chill at my place tonight or something like that. That's because they're really tired, they're worn down, and they want to just spend an evening alone. They're kind of going into a more hermity kind of energy is kind of what I'm seeing. But they want someone to do it with, right? This person's not someone who's necessarily a loner or wants to be alone. Even there are times when they're alone, they want to be with someone else. They want another person with them. I think they're very, very social is kind of what I'm seeing. And so, yeah, so they're either going to try to come into your home environment if you let them or you're open for that. If that's not the case for you guys, don't worry about it. If you're worried like, oh, I live with roommates or whatever, I can't have people over at my place, something like that. They're definitely going to be more willing to have you be at their place. Something's happening where you guys are going to spend a lot of time in a home environment. And this is where things get super, super trippy. This is where I freaked out earlier in the reading in the middle of analyzing the cards because it was just so unbelievably cool. With Beyond the Ordinary, Two of Wands, and Domestic Harmony, I'm seeing really amazing, juicy, surreal home environment energy. So for example, that is phenomenal sex, right? That is living in a fantasy world that you guys are building up around yourselves. That is where the magic happens. I think both of you have such close connections with your dreams. I think even if you spend the night at this person's house or whatever, you'll wake up feeling really refreshed, like your dream life will be really fulfilled, like you'll have a really good sleep, something like that. And I think once you see the inside of either their home or they see the inside of your home or bedroom or whatever, wherever the area of your life is, that you have the capacity to decorate that area and make that area your own, they're going to be floored, right? Or you're going to be floored by their home. There's something about their home where it's like the perfect fantasy escape or retreat. And I see you guys really enjoying and spending most of your time here in this situation. The only thing that I am seeing that could interfere or break this connection is if they want to go out and be social again. And I'm not seeing that happening for a long time. I do see you guys spending once you guys finally get to that home position in your connection with both of you, I see you spending a lot of time at home, chilling at home, really enjoying each other's company. But it might be tricky to get to that point because they are very active, and I think they need to be worn down a little bit by all their activities to want that hibernation mode, right? So that's what's coming next for you guys in love. Who's coming next for you in love, right? This is more about who they are. This is more about what's happening. So we got a little bit of both in here. Yeah, I think I'm going to end your reading. Oh, wait, no, I was going to read you guys angel numbers. Sorry, I almost forgot. I almost forgot to read you your angel numbers. So we're going to be reading 884, and we're going to be reading 846, and then we're going to be reading 88 and 46. So if you want to skip the angel number portion, feel free to end the reading here. But I'm gonna read these angel numbers for you guys. We have 884. Okay, so 884 says self-realization. You found your true path. You are being applauded by your angels. The realizations you have had recently are a breakthrough. Your life has pivoted onto the course of your soul's plan. Take time today to celebrate this. Spend time in nature, feeling the gratitude for the path that brought you self-realization. Wow, I am seeing with this socialization, the fact that I brought up that you guys have been in this energy before, there's something about you understanding lessons about this particular part of your life, that you understood certain lessons, that when you deal with this person, this is actually good news because this means it's going to go more harmonious, that beginning part of the relationship. It means you're going to have such a high perspective that even though karmically things are happening to you, you're going to understand them on a higher level, a self-realized level where they're not going to be affecting you. So I think you're going to really understand where this person is coming from. It's a feeling of knowing where they're coming from, knowing what they're doing, why they're doing it, and understanding that because you've been in their shoes. Okay, let's see what we have 846 is the other one that's coming through. as the angel number 846. We have 846. It says, appreciate yourself. You already did it. Your angels are asking you to notice that you've already done something big in your life. A huge goal that you used to lie heavily on your mind has been achieved. Acknowledge it, then sit in awe and gratitude of what your dedication has produced. That's super interesting. I think this reading is coming at a time where you guys have already achieved some kind of significant success, which is really interesting because I think this person also has achieved significant success. You guys really are just really two successful people that are just found each other and you're living your most successful life is kind of what I'm feeling. Okay, so let's get the other cards. We have 88. So 88 says, welcome riches. State your intention. Infinite abundance is available to you and your angels are signaling for you to remember this. They want you to elevate your vibration as well as your expectations for what you can receive. Write down an intention you have for the future. State it out loud under the stars during the next new moon. Yeah, I really think you guys, something that's actually going to manifest this person in quicker or get you this person quicker with welcome riches right there. There's a feeling of actually like manifesting a wealthy partner into your life. I think at this time, if you manifested love and wealth at the same time or alternated between manifesting the two of them, whatever manifestation techniques you use, you'll attract that really quickly is kind of what I'm feeling, at least for what's next in love. I think it's going to put the events into motion to attract both of those things, a wealthy partner and also someone who you really are in love with and you can care about and they can care about you. Okay, let's see. The last one I want to read is 46. 46 says the prize. Don't lose sight of what's important. Your angels validate that distractions in the material world can produce disconnect from self and spirit. Show the universe you know where your priorities lie today by doing something that shows you keep your eyes on the prize. That's interesting that I just said that, and this message kind of contradicts what I just said. I do think that even though you're manifesting wealth and abundance, there are bigger goals in your life than wealth and abundance. And I think there are bigger goals. How do I explain it? I wouldn't get so caught up in manifesting this person wealth and abundance that that's all you focus on, because I think you're going to have to let go of this, right? You're going to have to let go of the material world a little bit before this person comes in. And it's kind of making me realize that yeah, don't lose sight of what's important. If there's other important things in your life, don't lose sight of that in regard to just manifesting this person at all costs. There's other things that need your attention as well. And the cards are kind of urging you to take care of those things too. I think they're saying too that if you take care of those urgent things, why did I say urgent? Maybe they are urgent. I don't know. But if you take care of those things that you really need to get done right now, it's going to help free up some time when you're with this person in the future. Yeah. You guys have a beautiful relationship coming your way. There is some karma to deal with just because they're reflecting a phase of your life that you used to be in, a very social phase of your life you used to be in. They're kind of in that social phase when you meet them. And you're going to know how to deal with them because of that. It's very similar. If you're like questioning, like, well, why aren't they texting me? Whatever. And they're just saying like, I'm busy, I'm hanging out with so-and-so. And they like let you know too late, something like that. This is the vibe here that this person is kind of doing what you used to do. So all you have to do and realize is that they're just in the same boat you were in. They're not a bad person. You've actually been through experiences that, so in a way there's a sense of empathy, right? Because you know exactly what they're going through. You know exactly what the game they're playing, what they're doing, you know, and then you can know from that they actually do care about you. It's not anything that has to do with them not caring about you. It's just they have a lot of stuff they're interested in at once. So with that said, I'm going to end your guys' reading. If you guys like this reading, please like or comment below. If you really enjoyed this reading, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, I'm going to end your reading there. I'm going to have to take a quick break between groups. If you guys watch these back to back, if you watch all the groups, I don't know, so maybe some of you do. Got to get some water. My throat's feeling a little dry. And I will see you guys in the next pick a card. I don't know why I need that extra information. Maybe you guys need to drink water. Drink water. It's good for you. All right, bye guys. Hey, group 3, this is if you picked the Tiffany stone. So lovely, cool, purple, lilac-y kind of shade of color on that stone. Let's get into your reading. So let's start with an animal oracle card to figure out who is coming towards you in love. This reading is kind of covering what is coming towards you in love as well. I'm talking about the kind of a little bit about the situation in most of the groups. But the main gist, we're just trying to find out who is coming towards you in love. So who's coming towards group 3 in love? We have the Crow. And I want to get a character oracle card. So who is coming towards group 3 in love? This one wants to come out. We have Architect. Let's get a Oracle of the 7 Energies. Who is coming towards group 3 in love? We have a Grand Symphony. And numerology cards. For who, at the end of the reading, I'm going to read from the angel numbers book for the numerology that I'm seeing in the cards, so we'll get that too. But these numerology cards are going to actually add to the reading as well, just as they are by themselves. So let's see, 2 numerology cards for group 3. Who is coming to group 3 in love? Oh, we have 2 that flipped out. You guys are actually getting a lot that are flipping out of the deck. Normally I have to draw, but you're getting a lot that are coming out, which I think means like Spirit has messages or is influencing this reading a little bit. It's kind of how I'm feeling about this. Okay, now we're gonna get some cards from the Pulp Tarot and see what comes out for who this person is, what's going on with them, what is coming, who and what is coming next in love. Now I'm gonna have to draw. Okay, let's see. So we have the Fool, we have the Magician, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the 9 of Cups. Okay. Okay, I know what type of person this is for sure. Let's get into it. I think I've got this reading pretty much covered. It's feeling a little open-ended. I might take a little bit more time to look at it. Give me one more second. Okay, I think I've got all of it. There's a very much of an open-ended feeling to this kind of connection or this person coming in. They have this like, what's it called? Where most people have like boundaries, not in the traditional sense of boundaries that where we think about them as far as like, you know, like you can't do this to me and I can do this to you and you're setting up boundaries in a relationship. It's not boundaries like that. It's just their boundaries are a little blurred in other ways. This person's definitely a free spirit. This person with the Fool energy here and the Magician, this person is they could be young at heart. But overall, this person with the Fool card here, very free-spirited, right? Very free-spirited. I think that you're actually meeting this person at a time in your guys' life when you are also being very free-spirited. Because I'm getting this strong vibe of like going out with a person and both of you just flying by the seat of your pants and doing whatever you feel like whenever you feel like it is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Like I'm getting a strong vibe of this person coming in when you're ready for a little more spontaneity in your life. You're ready to be a little bit more free-spirited yourself. This person is coming in and they're also in that free-spirited energy. I think the person coming in, this crow person with the air symbol up here, it's more inherent in their nature that they're free-spirited. They've like kind of always been free-spirited. And you guys are actually going to go through a transformation where you're going to want to feel more free-spirited to do whatever you feel like, whenever you feel like. Which is kind of funny because with Architect here, this is kind of coming through as how they maneuver with their work with the crow here, the Architect, which might bring a little bit more structure to the connection because we do have Weaver of Blueprints, planning, design, supervision, and construction. But overall, a very free-spirited connection. This connection is going to come into your life when you start to follow your dreams. Simple as that. This person follows their dreams. This person does what they want to do when they want to do it. This person And oh wow, I just got confirmation because my air turned off. Yeah, this person definitely follows their dreams. They're definitely doing what career they want to be doing. They're on their life journey. They're on their path. This is giving me vibes of like you've achieved your own personal fulfillment and happiness, and you're meeting someone else who is also personally fulfilled and happy. I'm happy to tell you guys this is a very peaceful connection. This is very like healthy is kind of what I'm saying. Very healthy, very peaceful. I think both of you are very spontaneous. I think you guys like to do things spur of the moment. I don't think either of you are necessarily planners. We do have architect here, and I'll get into what that represents for them in a second. But overall, I think you guys just like to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. And that's kind of the vibe. And it's part of following your dreams. You're following your impulses. You're following your instincts, right? That's kind of how I see you in this person. Also, this person with crow spirit here is very wise, very intelligent. They could be a little bit of a gossip because I do see that with crows sometimes because crows talk. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you do something bad to a crow, they tell their crow friends, and those crows will haunt you. Like if you ever kill a crow, heaven forbid, crows talk and they find out who hurt one of their kind and they follow them around, like it's wild. But this person in general just could be a little bit more of a gossip. They could be more of a communicator, a talker, something like that. They could share information really easily. You might find out a lot of information about people in your world or that they know. This is a really good connection where you're going to be getting a lot of information. You might be hearing about news from different world events, something like that, or whatever this person's into. They definitely like to share what they're going through. They like to share what they're learning, right? With follow your dreams, this person's definitely on the path of following their dreams. They only follow their dreams at this point in their life. They've figured it out. With Queen of Pentacles here too, I think they're wealthy, but with it being a Queen card, they're not necessarily in the highest position of wealth in society. They're in a little bit of a lower position in general with their wealth, but also they're happy with what they've got. They're following their dreams and they're happy with where they're going and what they've got. And I also think with the Fool card being a very mercurial kind of energy, and the Magician also being a mercurial kind of energy, I just feel like with follow your dreams, sometimes their dreams change, and people's dreams change and what they want changes. So with this person, I honestly feel like you guys are coming into each other's lives at a perfect synchronistic moment where you're both like meeting each other at the right perfect time. This is giving me strong vibes of like perfect harmony and perfect alignment with the universe. I'm definitely feeling for most of you, you're very spiritually evolved. You've definitely processed most of your karma in this lifetime. You probably had a harder life earlier in life than later in life, something like that, or you're going towards a feeling of ease and relaxation. It could also be that this is just kind of like a moment in time where you're going towards it's basically the universe is rewarding you for following your dreams. So basically they're going to be giving you another free spirit to like walk this earth with, who also follows their dreams. There's very much a sense of kindred souls here, that because both of you follow your true path in life and you don't let really anything interfere with that, there's a feeling of just everything kind of working out for you guys. This is a feeling of like, just because you're following your passion, your love, your desire, you're following what lights you up. You're following your perfect path in perfect harmony. This person's coming along to walk that path with you. Now, a little bit more about this person. With Grand Symphony and Architect, it says weaver of blueprints, planning, design, supervision, and construction. This person is an architect of sorts. And with Grand Symphony here, I think that they make music. I think that's what they do in this lifetime, is they make music, or they're in a band or something like that. And with Architect, I think they're the main driving force behind this music. I think that they write the songs. I think that they they compose the music, something like that. That's someone coming in for you in love. If it's not music, it's some form of art or creativity that feels like music, right? With a Grand Symphony, I think this person creates for bigger events. So for example, with Grand Symphony and Architect here, I could see someone composing music, or someone who basically writes music and then bigger symphonies play their stuff, something like that. I know that's really specific and that's not going to apply to everyone. So some general topics about their career, what they're about, even though they're very free-spirited in their life, right? Like, where do you want to go eat today? Oh, no, I don't know. I feel like this. I'm just going to go, right? I feel like doing this. I'm just going to go. That's kind of the vibe with the Fool energy here, that it's just like when you think of it, you do it. When you think of it, you do it. That's kind of the vibe that I get with both of you actually in this connection. If you're not in that energy yet, you will be. If you're kind of in an energy where you're like, you have to plan everything, or you're constantly asking the universe for signs of what to do, this is more an energy of just like knowing what your dream is and following it and leaning into it, right? And this is kind of where they're at as well. But even though you guys are both like this, for them, when it comes to their creative aspects of their life and their creative activities, they're very much the architect and they're very much the planner. So in that way, they are a planner in the sense that when it comes to their creative process, they're definitely very much someone who plans for the future. This is someone who they could be a supervisor over others. They could be involved in construction in general. They could be someone who's involved in construction. And so when it comes to their work, they're very ordered and planned, but with the rest of their life, completely spontaneous, right? There's just something about being a creator is kind of what I'm seeing. And they're doing something with a grand symphony that's with bigger projects that's beyond them. So for example, a simple job that I can think of at the smallest scale for this person would be someone who is a teacher or someone who writes lessons plans and then teaches a class. And the way they teach is like a musical symphony. Like the way they express their ideas and opinions and teach the class and educate the class, it feels like a symphony. People leave their class feeling like they went to a musical concert. That's kind of the vibe that I'm feeling. People leave their class feeling like they just went to an art gallery, right? And people feel unified after being with this person. There's a feeling that this person is very, how do I put it, creates and plans for the future very efficiently and effectively. And with the Grand Symphony here, it comes out in this beautiful array of colors and sounds and peacefulness. And just a feeling of unity is kind of what I'm seeing. With the Magician here, this talks about who this person is a little bit. With the Magician, they can create things just like a magician. It seems almost effortless when they create things. Even though there is a lot of work that backs it, it feels kind of effortless. With the tools here, they have access to all different faculties of their mind. I think this person's very balanced. They're very emotionally adept. They're very in tune with their passions. Financially, they have enough resources, or they've managed to receive and get enough resources where they can work with material world to create their dreams as well. And with the Swords card, they have an intellectual savvy, specifically with planning and organizing, that gets them ahead in their careers. With Queen of Pentacles, this just talks about that they're not necessarily the most wealthy person. This person might actually be in a position where they don't need to take the full paycheck, right? Because they don't need a lot, right? There's something about only receiving what they need at any given time, and they don't care about it. They don't care if they make a shit ton of money. They don't care if they make like not enough at all. Like this person is very comfortable with what they make, and they know the thing is they're comfortable with their finances with the Queen of Pentacles here. Also with this woman holding out this pentacle, I'm thinking of protection, right? Like blocking enemies away. And I do think this crow energy is coming through as a very protective influence. You know, crows protect their own kind, right? They stand up for the people in their murder, right? That's what they're called. I think a group of crows is called a murder of crows. They stand up for people that are in their murder. And if anyone gets hurt, they can gang up on the people who hurt them. Like they'll follow humans around and stuff like that. And they kind of know what's up. So with the Queen of Pentacles here, I really see this person as very protective. They have a very protective energy. I think even though there's a very spontaneous feel with both you and them, and you both are following your dreams fully and completely, there's a feeling that they will protect you or stand up for you if anyone says or does anything to hurt you or harm you in any way. There's a feeling too that they also do this preventatively. It's interesting how they do this too, because this woman has this intense stare with her eyes and this pentacle she's holding out. It's almost like they know how to give a certain look to people and people will back off, or they know how to use their presence effectively for people to back off and not interfere in your guys' kind of like bubble, if that makes sense. This person has a very fierce look to them, like they have very fierce eye contact when they look at people. And it kind of gets people to think like, oh, better not approach them. Or they kind of can sense, because they're very intuitive, right? This person, they can kind of sense hostile intentions from like a mile away. And before those intentions come towards them, they know how to block those people away or protect their inner circle or their group, essentially. Now, there is one thing that I'm seeing with the Nine of Cups and physical activity here that I want to bring up. This Nine of Cups, when I first got this deck, I noticed this woman is sitting by a phone, right? It's almost like she's waiting for a phone call, and she's been waiting all night long. She's literally drank 9 cups of wine. Like, that's her with her bottle. She drank 9 cups of wine. There's a feeling of, I think the first moment you meet them, there could be a feeling of waiting for them to contact you again. And it being a little painful in the sense that you're waiting for a call. Or I'm getting the vibe, the old fashioned vibe of like, oh, I'll call you. And then like you're waiting for that call, right? There could be a slight feeling of waiting in this connection. Also with Nine of Cups in general, there's a feeling of being wish fulfillment here. And also of like knowing that even though you're waiting for this call, there's a feeling of like living in this feeling of like, oh my gosh, this person's like a dream come true. Oh my, why, how did I meet them? Like, there's all this kind of energy affecting that. I'm not really sure how you meet them other than that. I just know there's a feeling, like I'm getting an image of a woman waiting by a phone and getting nervous. She's not going to get the call and indulging in something like drinking or something like that. The cards are urging you in this moment, if you're going through this moment with this person in the future, if you can remember this message, engage in physical activity, not in drinking or in some kind of substance or some kind of thing like that. Because what I'm seeing here with engaging in a physical activity, it makes you feel, when you answer the phone with this person or when they finally contact you, they're going to feel, how do I put it? The endorphin rush you're going to get from the physical activity is going to translate well to this person. It's kind of what I'm seeing. Also, this could be coming at a time in your life. This person could be coming in as a reward when you give up some kind of addictive habit and you engage more in physical activity or you engage more in your health is kind of what I'm seeing. The other thing too that I'm seeing also with physical activity is you both, with the Fool energy here, you both spontaneously could want to do things that are very physical in nature. Like maybe you're not the type of person that normally, takes walks, or maybe you're not the type of person that normally like plays sports or something like that. But this person is a very kind of like gets you to be physical and it's comfortable. There's not a feeling of like awkwardness where you like can't be physical or something like this person is very much a physical, like your guys' connection is very physical, right? Physical activity can also hint at sex, if you know what I'm saying. So I think this person, there's a very physical, intimate relationship. I think this person's very hands-on. I think you're very hands-on with this person. For some of you, I feel like maybe you're not used to physical activity because we do have the Nine of Cups here, which is more of an indulgent kind of energy in general. Even though it is a wish fulfilled, it's feeling more indulgent or waiting for a phone call or indulging while you're waiting, something like that. The cards are urging you that don't stop waiting for the call of, okay, oh wow, this is the message. Okay. So it might not be the specific situation of waiting for them to call, but this is a message coming through for you guys in your life right now. The message is to stop waiting for that love to come in and to call you, right? It's about doing your own thing. With Follow Your Dreams, it's about following your dreams before the love has found you. Because I see when you start following that path of what you really want to do, love, the actual perfect lover comes in quite suddenly. It's very amazing how that happens. You guys will just be on your path, following your dreams, feeling super happy, embracing that Fool energy, being spontaneous, doing whatever you feel like, right? And this person just comes in, this person just comes in. They're a wish fulfilled. They're extremely protective. They have all the tools necessary to create their reality and also with their particular career. I think the thing is their career is pretty important to them with Architect of the Grand Symphony. I'm getting someone who plans and designs a lot for something that's very harmonious. Harmonic is the word coming through. With these hummingbirds here in the Grand Symphony, I think this person attracts a lot of people who are very present focused. So people who are that are very much in the present, very concerned with the present, very concerned with the here and now. This person attracts a lot of people around them that are like this kind of energy. I don't know if you guys are like this energy. I'm not seeing that so much because I'm not really seeing really what your guys' energy is in this reading. It's actually not coming through that strongly, but I think they attract a lot of people who are very present-minded, present-focused, enjoy the present. I think also with their Grand Symphony, their creations make people feel more connected to the present moment, right? They can make people see the beauty in something that was otherwise not able to be seen before they kind of showed them how to see that beauty in the first place, right? So they bring other people into the present moment. And I am seeing with the Fool here, you guys are both in the present moment in that you're following your impulses, you're following your dreams, you're following your desires, not so much trying to orchestrate the future, but you're how do I put it? You're flowing into the future. So you're not orchestrating your future or figuring out your future. There's a feeling of flowing into it and feeling really comfortable with that flow is kind of what I'm seeing. Like I said, the only thing that they're planning right here is their art and stuff. Like these things that make people involved in the present moment, these things are things that come to them after like solid work, planning and design and dedication. This is where they're really using their, I would say their rational mind effectively, right? They're not necessarily, and the Crow, it's funny, in the Kim Kranz deck, I think the Crow is the creature that sees the past, present, and future in the Kim Kranz deck. So it's funny, I think this person's in tune with time already. It's just a matter of organizing themselves to create the things that bring people into the present moment, right? They're kind of aware of the timeline, but they know that the most important time is the present, and to bring people into the present is what they need to do. Yeah, let's see. With the Crow here too, with this kind of colorful sphere, this person is holding on to a wealth of creative ideas and expressions that is just waiting to be expressed. So they're definitely someone who needs to have that outlet, is what I'm seeing. Let's get some angel number cards for your guys' reading. We have follow your dreams and physical activity, but I want to go into these angel numbers, particularly 8, 5, 6, and 5, 6, 7. And then I want to cover 85 and 67, the actual numbers on the cards. These numbers could also be confirmation for you if you're seeing these numbers, something like that. So let's go with the first number, 8, 5, 6. And 8, 5, 6 says domino effect. It says celebrate abundant joys. As one wondrous thing happens in your life, so too will others. Oh, wow. This is very apropos for the reading. The abundance you have manifested and attracted is creating a domino effect. See where it takes place and celebrate this moment. Do something fun today and really feel the joy channel through you. Exactly. That's what this follow your dreams and the Fool card is talking about. Doing things that you feel like are fun, that you want to do. If you've ever felt like you wanted to take that specific class in life, like you're really wanting to take that painting class, or you're really wanting to take that design class, whatever it is, if you follow your dreams, follow that journey, right? The domino effect is so considerable that by the time you get this domino effect going, this person is just going to naturally come into your life and fit perfectly into that life, right? You guys might already be realizing this a little bit, that you like doing kind of like what you want to, taking what's fun and letting that take an effect in your present life is something that could be actually creating that domino effect of success and abundance in your life right now. Okay, so let's see 5, 6, 7. Let's read 5, 6, 7. Okay, 5, 6, 7 says sanctity. Celebrate habits of enlightenment. Habits you are creating in your daily life are bringing you toward a state of inner peace. Your angels want you to acknowledge that these practices have created a deeper connection with the divine. Write about one thing you've incorporated into your routine that has opened you up to enlightenment. That's interesting because I'm specifically seeing this dealing with this thing that I was talking about earlier. Possible if you guys are dealing with some kind of substance or something like that, cutting it out and eliminating it from your daily routine could be very beneficial in helping you follow your higher path, right? It could be getting in the way or causing a clouded vision. It's kind of like with dopamine, like we have reward pathways that seek certain things. And if you're constantly seeking one thing because that's your favorite like dopamine hit, you're missing out on all the other dopamine hits that you can receive that are different from that one thing. But if you kind of eliminate that thing that you're kind of addicted to, you'll start to see other pathways open up of like fun experiences, different activities. You might not see it while you're focused on this one pathway because it's like a darkness that kind of clouds the tunnel to make you more tunnel vision towards it. But if you kind of remove that substance, and after a while you'll start to be like, man, I want to take this class, or I want to do this activity, or I want to do this. And you'll start to see these paths open up. So that could be something that could benefit your health routine, right? Celebrate habits of enlightenment. So making sure your habits are of an enlightened state. We also have 85 and 67. I'm going to read those now. 85 says spiritual shift. The changes around you are inevitable. You have the choice to make them positive. Your angels ask you, as challenging as it may feel, to find one thing you can make better in your life in the midst of all these shifts. Journal about how you can activate positive change. Yeah, I think you guys are going to go through a major spiritual shift. I think with it saying they're inevitable, that's really true here. I think you guys are really going to embrace this fool energy eventually and just live your life like you're the main character. You know, you're living your life like you're the one that's in charge. Is kind of what I'm seeing. And you're letting life flow. I'm seeing you're letting life flow. You're just embracing what's coming your way. It's really beautiful energy, honestly. Let's do 67, the last one, and then I'll wrap up your reading. 67, we have enlightenment. Wake up. Your soul is waking up and it's bringing your reality with it. Your angels want you to practice enlightenment in your everyday life to support your soul's growth. Be in the present moment today. Tune into your bodily sensations and acknowledge your emotional state without judgment. Simply be. It's funny it said turn into your bodily sensations and it said simply be. I think when you meet this person with the physical activity here, something that's going to happen is you're naturally going to start to be aware of your body and what physical activity you need at any given time. For those of you who are like, man, I hate physical activity, it's going to feel really natural when you meet this person. There's a feeling of naturally falling into some kind of physical activity that feels comfortable when you meet this person. I don't think this person is the type of motivating person that's going to push you beyond your boundaries or anything like that. I think this person really, in a weird way, just kind of like through just being there stimulates you to want to be active. It doesn't necessarily have to be like an actual, like someone yelling at someone to like, get up, do that squat, whatever, you know? This is a very much like a, you know, like I feel like walking today, your partner being like, I could do that. You guys go for a walk outside or you go through a walk through the park. I feel like biking. You want to bike a trail today? Like, I feel like I haven't ridden my bike since I was like 5 years old. You want to ride bikes today? And then it's like, yeah, let's ride bikes. And you guys end up riding bikes all afternoon. There's a kind of vibe like that. And it could go into more vigorous activity too, but it's basically asking you to keep aware of your body and what your body wants to do in these moments, right? It's not so much like what you're forcing yourself to do. It's more a matter of like, what do you and your partner feel like doing at any given day, right? And it just so happens, I think a lot of physical activity is going to get incorporated into this connection. I think you guys are actually very physical people. I think when you meet, there's going to be a lot of sexual activity as well. And it's just really about keeping things spontaneous and keeping things fun, keeping things fresh, keeping things fun. I think the fact that when you start following your dreams, that's when this person's going to come into your life. When you start following your path that you really want to follow in this lifetime, you know, there's a strong vibe of just like doing what you've always wanted to do and just throwing yourself into it, right? The fool is running fearlessly off the edge of a cliff, right? And it can sometimes feel like that when we're following our dreams. It's like, I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to catch me. I don't know what's on the other side. But I think that you guys are going to get to a point where you know you have to do it. You know you have to follow through. You know you have to follow your dreams. You know you have to leave some undesirable habits in your life to broaden the scope of your perspective to see what you can let in. You guys need to, you don't need to, but I think it's coming for you. So I'm saying need, but I think it's coming. You guys could let in a lot of light. I see you guys letting in a lot of light. The more you follow your dreams, the more light that comes into your life is kind of what I'm seeing. It's kind of one of the key factors of bringing things towards you is kind of what I'm seeing. So yeah, I'm going to end your guys' reading there. If you guys like this reading, please like or comment below. If you really enjoyed the reading and you resonated with my energy, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, we're going to move on to the next group with the Lapis Lazuli, group 4. Thank you guys again so much for letting me read for you. I really appreciate your energy here and being here with me for this reading today. And I will catch you guys in the next pick a card. Bye. Hey, group 4, this is if you picked the Lapis Lazuli. So let's get into your reading all about who and what is coming in next in love. So let's get an animal oracle card for you guys first to see some information about who and what is coming next for you guys in love. Let's see mainly who, actually. Who is coming in next in love? And this card, we have Frog. Oh, that's so wild. I was thinking, you know, have you guys kissed any frogs lately that turned into princes? It's kind of the vibe so far that I'm feeling just in general with this reading. My air turned off right when I was thinking that, so it's so wild. Normally it turns off when I'm saying something, but it turned off when I was thinking it. We also have Waiter. Okay, so it's coming through, and then we're going to get a... Oh, no. Then we're going to get a Oracle of the Seven Energies here. What Oracle of the Seven Energies cards can help us see what's going on in who or what is coming towards group 4 in love. We have Seeing Beyond. And I'm going to get 2 numerology cards for you guys. These numerology cards I'm also going to be using to read from an angel number book towards the end of the reading. I'll keep that at the end, so if you want to skip that part, you can. I'll do most of the reading before that. But the angel numbers have been helpful in most of the groups, I'd say. So I would stick around for it if you guys can. Let's see what numbers want to come through, what numerology cards want to come through to help us figure out who and what is coming towards group 4 in love. Let's see, we have 9, completion, and we have 33, communication. And I'm pulling from the Pulp Tarot by Todd Alcott today. Fun fact, I don't know why I feel like telling you guys this, but I will. I organized all my decks into clean and dirty decks. Like all the decks with nudity are in the dirty group, and then all the decks that are clean are in a different drawer. So now I have it all organized where I know I don't have to worry about nudity in the cards. When I do pick a cards, I can like use decks that don't have that. So, you know, let's see. Okay, so what is coming through for who or what is coming through to group 4 in the poll? Okay, I'm getting so distracted in your guys' group. There's a feeling of distraction. It's gonna play into this group, I think. Yeah, we have the Ace of, that's a definite confirmation with the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, the distraction element's gonna play into this reading. The fact that I'm feeling distracted. But let me pull the rest of your cards and we'll see what's going on. We have the Page of Swords, the 8 of Swords, and the Hangman. What's coming next in love for group 4? What's coming next in love for group 4? Let's see. Okay, let's get into your reading. This person is coming through as a sort of like a wish completed or a dream fulfillment kind of vibe, because we have completion here with the 9. This can also talk about, for what's coming towards you in love, this could be the completion of a previous chapter of your life or a previous relationship that was causing a lot of stress on your mind. It can also be a new person coming in and you're learning through this new person that you don't necessarily want to be with this person, if that makes sense. So this is a love reading, right? But it is more focused on the completion of love or the wrapping up of love, or like kind of like sending someone on their way is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. So let's get into this. So first, Frog is kind of representing their energy. Waiter is also representing their energy. It says a tenant of hospitality, steward, and cleaner. I think this person to you guys seems, how do I put this? they're just working a kind of like ordinary job or something like that when you meet them, something like that. If this is a person from the past, this is someone who is like younger than you. We have the Page of Swords here representing them too. If this is a person that's coming from the past, that you're going to be wrapping this up. So for a lot of you, this is really good news, right? You might think, oh no, I wanted to hear about someone new, but for a lot of you, if this is sounding like the person from your past, this 9 completion means that you are going to be wrapping up this relationship once and for all. 9s represent an ending. You're going to be wrapping this relationship up once and for all. You're going to be free from this person. You're going to be free from the feelings from this person. With Seeing Beyond, you're on a new path. You're seeing your future clearly. You're getting visions of your future because you're wrapping up this connection. This color purple is reminding me of the crown chakra as well. And I definitely think that through wrapping up this relationship, you'll be seeing clearly into the future and you'll have a battle plan for where you want to go in life. It's a really cool thing to wrap up a relationship and know you're fully and completely over someone. Let me tell you that for sure. Like, especially if it's been a difficult relationship in the past. So for a lot of you, what's next in love, or who is next in love, is wrapping up a relationship. So for a lot of you, even though you came to this reading looking for what person is next in love, the what of what's next in love is wrapping up a relationship. And for some of you, there's a person coming in that represents this past person that you used to be with. So for example, if you're in a no contact situation with the person that you're trying to get over, or you can't get over, or you really want to get over, but it's really difficult, there's a person coming in that you're going to be engaging with that is very much like the previous person, and you're going to be wrapping up some karmic things with this person. So for example, one thing that I'm seeing with this person with Frog here is this is someone who has the ability to be royalty, or has the ability to be someone of social status, but they're not. With the waiter card here, they're in just kind of a regular job. Some waiters make really good money, right? So it's like they're in just like a regular job, maybe they're not going too many places in life, something like that, or they're just kind of stuck in a certain place in their life, but you create this kind of flirty connection with this person is kind of what I'm seeing. So for a lot of you, if this person's coming in that represents your past person, there's a feeling of like, well, maybe this person's different, right? But what you're really going through is wrapping up this kind of relationship from the past, using this other person to help you. With communication here, there might be discussions, right? Like you might be able to finally ask certain questions that you've always wanted to ask your ex, that you never got the chance to ask your ex. And with this new person coming in, they have the motivations and the answers that you are seeking. So you might hear a story, and this is interesting because Seeing Beyond the third eye is making me think of secrets. It's making me think of hidden knowledge, hidden information, especially with you chose the Lapis Lazuli. This is the stone of truth and enlightenment. With the waiter here, I am saying you meet this person, right? They're just working a casual, typical job. They're not that important in life. Maybe I think with Page of Swords, they're much younger than you. And you're getting this window into your ex's life of like what they were like either before they met you or after they met you. And the person, this frog person that's coming in love, had a specific life situation where you can ask questions about that life situation and you're getting clarity on your previous relationship. It's very much one of those feelings like, oh my gosh, you're this type of guy. And then this type of guy that you've probably never been able to confound their motivations before ever. There's a feeling that this person is opening up about their hidden desires and feelings. With Seeing Beyond, this is going to give you so much clarity and insight and show you once and for all that you don't need this type of person in your life anymore, right? Your ex, you're getting over them for a reason. And this person's coming in to solidify that information, to solidify that ability to get over them. So what's coming next in love is a love relationship. I think it's going to be loving, but it's going to be with someone younger. So it's going to be someone who, if you had an ex from like 10 or 15 years ago, this person's coming in and they'll be that ex's age about at that same time, and they'll be going through similar life situations, and you're going to see this so clearly. This is almost like a psychic awakening for you guys. And beyond just a psychic awakening, your intuition, this group, I'm telling you, your guys' intuition is so strong. You can see patterns in people and relationships, and it's easy for you. I have that ability too sometimes. I don't tap into it as much as I should because ever since I started reading tarot, I found more accuracy with divination and tarot than I did with my own intuition predicting people's relationships. But for a long time, I called many relationships, and a lot of them that were going to failed, and a lot of them that were going to be right. And I was usually the only one saying that particular thing in the group. It's like everyone thought this couple was perfect and they were going to last for forever. And when I would say, I don't know if they're going to last for forever, people would think I was like crazy. They were like, how that's the most wrong opinion. People would tell me I'm wrong all the time. And that couple, literally, they broke up, right? Like, or there's couples that people I know, I had a couple once and people were telling them they're a phase or something like that. And I was like, no, they're really in it for the long haul. They're like, how do you believe that? Like, this is just happening like this person's definitely just a short time. I was like, no, this person's really their forever person. Like, they're going to be together forever. And that couple is still together. This is like 7-8 years later after I made that prediction. So like, things like that. I think you guys are intuitive like that. You understand relationships. You understand relationship dynamics. You understand how things play out. But there's certain people that perplex you because they haven't explained themselves to you, is kind of what I'm seeing. And so what I'm seeing with this person is there's this person who opens up to you and explains these things to you. And you're like getting this clarity. You're getting that missing piece of the puzzle that solidifies a larger picture, right? You're seeing beyond, and this actually might make you choose between two paths, right? Like, you might be thinking, I want to do this path or date someone like this, maybe closer to similar to how my ex was, or I want to go and try to date this person or something like that. This person coming in love, they're a younger person. They might at first hold back their thoughts and feelings, but I do see that they trust you and they open up to you eventually. Also, it's seeing beyond. I think it's going to help you select your path, essentially. This person coming in is going to give you perspective on your ex because they're a lot like your ex. They're going to say certain things and you're going to be like, that was what my ex was feeling. I know that. Like, I know that so intuitively. I just needed to hear it to know it for sure. But that's what was going on in my ex's mind. And once you guys realize this, you're able to move on completely from your ex. This connection, this person coming in, I don't see it lasting super long, but it is giving you that clarity you need. I'm telling you, it's giving you that clarity you need. And I think that it's going to be that moment where you're like, I've kissed enough frogs. Like, I've kissed enough frogs. It's time for me to find a prince. It's time for me to kiss a prince. I've kissed enough frogs in this lifetime. And you guys have this path forward, right? With Eight of Swords here, this is talking about conflicted thoughts energy. I think that's kind of with the Page of Swords and the Eight of Swords, Page of Swords. This person coming in is very young. They're not that communicative in general. That they probably have a hard time communicating, but I see with you, they really open up with this 33 communication here. And yeah, I think they're in a period of their life with the Hangman where they're suspended. They don't know what to do. And I think you're coming in at the right time to help give them advice. With the Ace of Pentacles, they might actually pay for this advice if you guys are actually counselors, something like that. If you actually have a job where you deal with people all the time and you're counseling them, or your people pay you for advice or something like that. Otherwise, I do see there's a feeling of, with the Ace of Pentacles here, if they're a waiter, like this is a specific situation coming to mind, but if they're a waiter at a restaurant, or there's someone that waits on you and you guys talk after their shift, something like that, you giving them a big tip, or you giving them some kind of like big tip. And this could even be like an intellectual tip, like you giving them some kind of tip for their life to help them out of this situation. I do see it's amicable, right? It's not like you're looking at this person like you're just like my ex, I hate you. It's not like that. It's like an understanding, like, oh my gosh, you're just like my ex. I see what he was going through. I see what was happening. I can love you and I can feel for you, but that, like, it's not for me, right? Like, I know that this type of relationship, this type of person, this type of male energy, or I'm seeing male energy for a lot of you watching this. I'm feeling that a lot of this is going to be very much a battle of the sexes, like women trying to understand men, men trying to understand women. And for some reason with communication here, the universe is blessing you with this like bridge of understanding between the two sexes. It's like you're getting a window into how the other thinks. I'm imagining that book, Women from Mars, or no, not Women from Mars, Women from Venus, Men from Mars, something like that. I can't remember that book. It was an old book, like my parents' generation, I think, when that book came out. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting this strong vibe that you're able to see clearly with the seeing beyond. That's the gift of this connection, is being able to see clearly. I also think with the Ace of Pentacles, with this completion, once you've completed your karmic connection with this person and how they related to your ex and stuff like that, I really think with the Ace of Pentacles here, soon, immediately after, you're going to get some kind of gift or abundance from the universe. It's like confirmation. It's like once you see and you see clearly and you understand, there's a feeling of when you've completed this chapter and you've put it to rest and you finally have that moment of like, I'm letting my ex go. From now and forever, I'm letting my ex go. I understand what he was going through. I don't need to hold on to this anymore. I'm letting him go, right? With the Ace of Pentacles here, I do see you getting a significant amount of money right after this. That's kind of coming through. And I also think this person that you interacted with, this new person coming in that reminds you of your ex, they might be getting significant amount of money as well. With communication, there is a strong vibe here of, there could even be elements where you're understanding your ex because of the way this person's communicating with you, right? That could also be a case, but I really do think this person opens up. I just think it might take a minute in the conversation. If you're in a conversation with someone or you meet someone that reminds you of your ex, and they're younger, they're about your ex's age when you dated, but you're like 5-7 years older and you're just talking to them and seeing what's going on in their head, I would recommend holding out in the conversation until they open up to you, because I really feel they're gonna open up, the communication's gonna flow, if just for a moment, and you're gonna get a clarity. You're gonna understand who this person is, you're gonna understand who your ex was, you're gonna realize this thing in your life, and it's gonna help you make a decision. It's gonna help you push you in one direction or the other, because you're gonna have that knowledge. Also 3 and 6 up here boils down to 9. So that's like double confirmation of the completion of the 9. We also have the crown chakra. I think your crown chakra is going to lead you to this person. So we have the purple and the blue. This is more indigo, but there's a feeling of your crown chakra leading you to this person. Remember, this person is like your ex, but they're also sensitive. They're also going through it. With the 8 of Swords here, they're very conflicted in their own head about what they're going through. And you know, I think this is the type of person who is going to open up to strangers more than their close friends. I think that's why it works with you and this person. I think that's why they open up to you, because they share something with you that they don't really tell other people in their life, and you really do help them through it. I do see you guys being sort of a counselor, even if you aren't counselors in your career and that's how you meet this person. I see you being sort of like a counselor to this person as well. Let's get into your angel numbers, and then I will wrap up your reading. We're going to have less angel numbers here because usually this is a double digit, but it's only a single digit. So we're only going to have one angel number to read from, and that is 933. And then I'll read 9, and then I'll also read 33. So let's read 933 and see what that says for you guys. Okay. Okay, so we have, hopefully that my camera did a notification. I think it was still recording, but we have soul searching. It has always been within you. The world around you will change, but you have a peaceful, eternal connection within you always. Lie in meditation with your hands over your heart chakra. Repeat this mantra, I am the universe. Wow. I think this is something that you can really reflect on in the moments when you're coming to terms with this person or this relationship, or there's a feeling that you have the peace within you. You don't need a person, or there's a feeling of gaining a sense of inner serenity in this connection. We also, in general, with that 933, let me see if I can find it again. I just closed it. It says soul searching, right? And that's just kind of the vibe that I'm seeing here. Soul searching is kind of the vibe that you're doing through this connection. It's like it unlocks a piece that like adds so much to your future life. It's like from this point on, you now know more about yourself and your relationships because of this experience, this kind of, it's like the answer you've always been seeking. For example, if you want to make this manifest faster, I would just do some affirmations of like, I want clarity on my ex. Show me clarity about my ex, something like that. And I think you're going to get information and this person's going to come in a lot faster. Because I do think this is destined for you. I do think it's your destiny to have the clarity and that you were seeking from your ex is kind of what I'm seeing. And I do think it's going to come through, as much as I hate to say this, because I offer a reading that's called X Person's Perspective. As much as it could come from a tarot reading, I do think it comes from a real life person that you're meeting and talking to. And I think that they actually, it's everything that I said in the reading, but they're actually representing a problem your ex had, and you're seeing it clearly for the first time. You're seeing a window into your ex's soul that they never revealed to you when you were dating, and you're seeing this personality, you're seeing this type clearly, right? And it's going to really help you move forward in life. Okay, let's look up 9 and 33 real quick, and I will read those two. So 9 says endings. If you're in your life, something is coming to completion. It can be sad, and it's okay to mourn what was, but it's also important to recognize the lesson in this ending as well. Journal today on what you have learned, how you feel, and what you plan to do with the hard-won knowledge. I think that's going to be really important to journal after this experience, because you want to solidify that information. I mean, it's priceless information, right? Priceless. When you finally find that information, that when you had that ex that you just couldn't get over, and you finally find that information that makes you just like solidified in the fact that you're over this person, that like really there's no turning back from that point, that's something to write down. Write that down in your journal. That's like, when people have something meaningful happen in their life and they get a tattoo because they want to keep it forever, right? Write it down in a journal, right? Like save that journal. That's a memento, so you can always look back on that and you know that moment, Okay, let's look up 33 real quick, and then I will bid you guys adieu. 33 says, love and peace. You are never alone. Your angels are with you, listening and receiving your prayers. But they want you to stretch a little further. What can you do to help yourself today? Reflect on a present problem and think of one way to make it slightly less difficult. No matter how small the action, it matters. So I really think that connecting with your angels, your guides, or any spiritual guidance that you have, and working on a specific problem that you have today could lead you to this situation, could lead you to the bigger answers, right? Dealing with small problems is kind of what I see is going to lead up to this bigger situation, right? Dealing with little problems that you have today and different things and tackling things step by step could lead to this bigger conclusion, this bigger understanding of what was going on with your ex, who they were, their personality, what path you want to go down. All this stuff is coming for you guys. And I'm really happy I got to give you this message. It's a very joyful message. I know you guys want a new relationship or something, but sometimes closure is one of the best things we can get, especially in preparation for a new person that's, after the next person. So yeah, if you guys like this reading, please like or comment below. If you really enjoy this reading and you resonate with my energy, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, that was the last group. I'm so glad my phone didn't die. I filmed these on my phone and it was like low battery. So hopefully it filmed the whole way through. I'll find out in a second. That'll be really sad. I'll have to go back and redo your messages. But yeah, hopefully it filmed it. And yeah, I really enjoyed reading for you guys. I was happy to give you this message. I'll catch you guys in the next pick a card. See you later.